19 Keys. Welcome to Keyism. So today we're going to be dealing with the idea and the myth, right, of black excellence. Now, this show tonight is prompted by something that I've seen on social media, right? I seen this post going viral that the Pop the Balloon show has now been picked up and green-lighted by Netflix. And I was looking at the comments, and the comments were torn. Some of the comments were talking about how congratulations to her and her family, her and her husband. I mean, people were extremely happy for her, right? And, hold on. And then there were some people that were saying it is great for her, but terrible for the culture. Right? But nonetheless, congratulations. Now, I had to think about that. How do we say it's good for somebody, but it's bad for the culture, but we still congratulate? See, we've gotten to this point now where this idea of black excellence, which means that an individual can accomplish something and we should celebrate it, even if it doesn't impact the team positively. So this is where I get to this point about is black excellence is the scam that replaced black power. Black power, the ideas of black power is about collective solutions, collective progress. It's about what we own and what we control and how we liberate ourselves. Black excellence was about how we benefit inside of an empire, right? A system that we don't own, a system we don't control, which is why we can justify every sellout thing that we do in black culture, and we can call it black excellence. Because you have to remember, black excellence is based upon money. As long as you get money, we can justify your actions. That's fine. In black power, it's about whether it is good for the people. So black power is collective thinking. Black excellence is individualism. So it puts us in a survival mode to say, well, as long as he's getting paid, then that's all that matters. It is the lowest level of thinking for a collective people because it is fear and scarcity based and survival based. So I'm like, how are the comments contradicting themselves? On one end, they're saying congratulations. On one end, they're saying congratulations. This is good for you, but bad for the culture. See, you have to do one thing. You can't, and we have a term growing up called straddling the fence. Man, you have to pick a side. The one thing I have to respect about the current climate of America is that I'm seeing people pick clear sides. These are my values. These are not my values. I rock with this. I'm against this. One of the problems that we have within the culture currently is that you can't have integrity if you can't pick a side. If money is more important than values, right, then it is not a culture at all. It is the complete decay of culture. It is when it is eroded based on capitalism. Capitalism provides opportunity for you to make money, so it justifies whatever action you do as long as you're making money. So the question becomes, is the culture worth saving at all? So another thing is my brother Ray Daniels, right? He was talking about how LeBron James was on the Pat McAfee show, right? And he was saying that LeBron James should have went on a black platform. Now, y'all let me know what you think. Should LeBron James have went on a black platform and talked about things that he normally have never talked about and aired out his grievances, right? Now, we know that he had an issue with Stephen A. Smith, right? Now, I've seen a lot of people saying, what more do you want from LeBron? They say he has a black family, right? They said he has a school. They said he make billions of dollars and he put his homies on. So people are making a case of saying LeBron James is black excellence. He don't have to do anything, right? And again, that's black excellence. That's the mindset. Black excellence is a philosophy. As long as this individual is doing the minimum for himself and his own family, he doesn't have to do anything outside of that. Specifically, he doesn't have to have loyalty to an idea of black progress as a collective culture, meaning you don't have to do the thing that will be good for all. Now, I want to know what you all think. What do you think? Because what ended up happening is that, no, once you get a certain amount of money, you're no longer black. You're rich. So therefore, you stop caring about black things. You care about rich things, wealthy things, money things. And I don't think the culture understands that once you get a certain amount of money, you're no longer black. Now, you may still be seen like that as melanated, but you're not a part of this group, of this class, because black excellence is an illusion, right? It's an idea. It's more so a class system. It's an idea that fits within capitalistic structures. But do we really have a team mentality? And whose team are you on? Because I love what LeBron James does with his son. Amazing nepotism, right? He has his platform, right? He has his beautiful black wife. All beautiful things. Then you have all the other billionaires in culture. We typically celebrate their individual accomplishments. We don't celebrate the fact that they are funding, the type of culture that we want to see more of. We're not celebrating that they on some Nipsey Hussle type time as he had his marathon rolling. He was showing the hood how you do things and push new waves. We're just celebrating people's business deals at this point in time. It's gotten to the lowest to where you can't be mad at MAGA. You can't be mad at nobody else, because at this point in time, the culture is sacrificing itself for individuals, but individuals won't sacrifice themselves for the culture. Now you see how that works? Because the justification will be, well, what you want that person to turn down the money for the culture, right? So we have an individual mindset to where we believe it doesn't matter whether someone does something good for the overall, as long as they do it good for themselves. So it's similar to that man that was in the Matrix that turned on Neo and he worked with the agents as long as he benefited in the Matrix. That's how it is. Everybody has turned into that guy that just wants to enjoy his food and his new class. Then you get Netflix and be like, why would Netflix green like this? Out of all the influencers, she's not the only one that got 100 million views. There's plenty of people. Of course, it's low-hanging fruit. It's fast content. It became popularized, right? But it's amazing how fast things become greenlit when they're not good for us. You know how many black directors go to Netflix, HBO, Apple with amazing ideas that they'll never greenlight? Oh, that would never work. See, the rest of the world, they don't mind picking up our ideas that they know will not fit within any progress or any power for us. So we enjoy the idea of black excellence. Hey, we got a new billionaire. This person got a new job. This person got a new title. Black women are enrolling in college. Black women are becoming more educated. We had a black president. We had a black woman running, right? There's a new showrunner. There's a new black CEO. These are all black excellent things. Very excellent. Right? Excellent. But who cares? Because they don't represent whatsoever black power. Now, we're living in a time where the only thing that matters is black power. Black excellence is the norm. right? Of course somebody should get a job. Like, we acting like we didn't know that we was powerful. We're celebrating these things that, quite frankly, don't matter in the large scale of things towards your own freedom and liberation, right? What they do is they fund philosophies and ideas that they believe in, that they want to shape the world. People that they believe in, platforms that they believe in, that they can swell up and run their ideas through. It's a very powerful thing when you think about it. But if the only worthy show that has popped up from these years of being on social media is a degrading dating show, which is fun, it's fine, it's entertainment, right? But we get all these people that start copying it. They start popping the balloon. Black family has been made into trivial entertainment. And it really is only exposing the idiocracies of these black women and how they treat men. And it becomes divisive, right? Emotional turmoil. And then it's going to get thrown on Netflix for the world to look at us as bigger fools. You're telling me that 5 black women are lining up in a row, right? And 5 black men are lining up in a row to turn down one of their own. I seen a brother go on there, man. He had a career together. He had a business. You know what I'm saying? He had damn near master degrees. And the woman turned him down because of how he dressed. And then everybody agrees. Shows like Zeus, where it's the Bad Girl Club and it's the Real Housewives of Atlanta or Hollywood or whatever new thing that they got going on. We know it's degrading. We know it is demoralizing, right? It is subversion. It takes away values and it spreads chaos. But as long as it makes money, it is justified, and the owner can be considered black excellence, and those who make it on the show is considered black excellence, because we go justify it with at least they making money. Meanwhile, we go complain politically about our representation. We will helm up a black woman because she's a judge. She's a congresswoman. She's a vice president. And black men are supposed to support that. Black men, don't you believe that we're supposed to support that, right? Black women, y'all believe black men are supposed to support this, right? You're supposed to support that, right? But they sleep white but claim to dream black. Why is it? And then I seen justification that, well, no black man wanted. You really believe that no black man wanted them? So what does that say? You're trying to say that all black men are just stupid or something. No, it is because they want proximity to empire. They don't really want the empire to fall. They just want a really good position in it. They don't want to be equal to black men. I'm going to tell you a good secret. They want to be equal to white men. I seen Sister Jasmine Crockett, and I'm not sure why she's behaving the way that she's behaving. It feels like a crash out. Because there's no direction, there's no value. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on with AOC and Ilham and the justice person. And this is operating on both sides, from left and right. Candace Owens, she got her a white man. And every damn near 90% of black women that are in position of power that we celebrate in the so-called lens of black excellence has them a white man. A sister told me, she just commented, black men sleep with white people as well. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. But we're talking about black women at the moment, and we're talking about this idea of black excellence. And no, we don't consider them black excellence when they don't have black women. They can be black excellence. Yeah, you're right. They're still black excellence, not black power. You can only be black power if you're coupled with a black man and a black woman. It's a very simple concept. The reason why is because, and here's the thing that I need everybody to understand, and I think you all should have a rational agreement. If 90% of black men that were in power had a white wife, how would you feel about them standing up for black women? See, Candace Owens sleeps white. So she doesn't have, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that will say they love her. I like the way she goes at certain groups. I like things that she says. But she's not for black men. And for me, if you're not for black men, specifically, I don't care nothing else in the world that you're for. If you don't have loyalty to black men, specifically, then you're not my people, per se. You can be black excellence, but not black power. You understand me? There is a difference. And let me explain this to y'all. Like, if LeBron James had a white wife, we would not be celebrating LeBron James the way we do. LeBron James get that stamp of the black excellence, right? And the way that he is celebrated because he has this beautiful black wife. Obama could have never made it as a black president with a white wife. But Kamala would have almost, like every black woman was fine supporting her with a white husband. I'm only laying out facts. There is no way black people in America, black men or women, would have voted in Obama if he had a white woman. There is no way we would held up LeBron James in the position of power that he is if he had a white woman. There is no way that you would celebrate Martin Luther King to Malcolm X to Farrakhan to any black person if they had a white woman on their side. There is no way that white men would hold up their own women, put them in positions of power if they had a black man on their side. There's right now white women as secretaries and other press and government and all these things, but they all have white husbands. They would never in a million years put a white woman in power if she has a black husband. Can anybody dispute these things? And can anybody tell me why we celebrate black excellence when it don't equal black power? Now, the reason I say this is not just because I'm thinking about the racial ideas of it. I'm thinking about the power dynamics of it. That's all I'm thinking about. I don't care who you sleep with, personally. That's none of my business. I don't care what goes on in the bedroom with you. None of my business. But again, we're living in a very powerful time right now. This time, we are on the precipice of who controls the world moving forward, right? And the power structures are lining up. And we think we have people that are loyal to the family, but they play on different teams. They play on different teams. What do I mean by that? We all have family. We can't always work with the family. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of black people that are our family. There's our family. You can't get rid of family. They blood, same DNA. That's my melanated folks. But they play on different teams. Some people are team capitalism. They just about the money. And they'll tell you. You know what I mean? So they like, bro, I don't give a damn about all that black consciousness talk you talking about, man. I'm going to get my money. Cool. That's family, but he play on a different team. Different team. Because when you play on the same team, everybody does the thing that benefits the team so that everybody wins. You do the thing that benefits the collective when you're a team. But we are a dysfunctional family, so you therefore cannot get mad when we fall behind because we don't deserve liberation and freedom because we're not operating as a team going for a collective goal. You can't be loyal to the family and play on a different team. It doesn't work like that. And then you can't only want the family to support you and back you up when you're in trouble. And you'll be like, but we family though. Yeah, but you don't play on the same team. We play on this black power team where we know that the only progress is ownership. It's not a job, right? It's not a right that we can get. It is only ownership and control. You know who has a philosophy? Andreessen Horowitz, who is a fund manager, right? He had billions of dollars of fund. He pushes all these technologies and things of that nature. And he says that he believes in the technology, a techno-utopian. He's a techno-optimist, right? Somebody who's optimistic about aligning with technology for the future. But only, and this is the caveat, only if we control it is his statement. This is what he says. I can show you. I'm on YouTube as well. So anybody want to hop on YouTube? He said only if we control it. Only if we control it. See, you know, we get excited about AI and things of that nature. Right? But see, they understand that it don't matter. And they're not optimistic about it, which is why they will go into a dogfight with China to make sure that they have control over it, because they know that it only matters when they control it. Somebody said, fake bada, not even scratching the surface. See, I'm not as stupid as you. Some of you all think crashing out on social media is progress. It's not. The question becomes is, what is the strategy for the long term? Crashing out on social media is a lack of strategy and a lack of intelligence. It's when you don't know what to do. So you don't operate with a plan, you operate within chaos. I can come on here, curse people out. I can come on here, go wild. I can trip out. Oh, Keys, man, I was gangster, bro. You called out everybody. You did this, that, and the third, that, and the third. Why? How did that benefit? What did that funnel to? How are you going to able to build? How are you going to navigate? What's the strategy? What's the long-term plan that is connected to it? It is a form of not having a strategy, an idea whatsoever, what to do with the information you have. So your only form of having some kind of control, the only thing that I know how to do, since I don't know what to do, is crash out. It is not power at all. I'm a thinking man. So as we think about this idea of black excellence, black people have been tricked into a bag. Right? This happened during the civil rights era, and it makes people stop focusing on power, infrastructure, control, right? Stop focusing on creating your own programs, parallel systems in your own world, and just be happy, right, with individual accomplishment. So we can celebrate. Now we celebrate our own downfall. We celebrate our own downfall. Things that we know are no benefit. It can be somebody that get a deal to sell harmful junk food in schools in America. And we'll be like, and it's a huge deal, long, big amount of money. And we're going to be like, that's what's up, man, bro. At least bro getting his money. We now support the sellout more than the revolutionary. We have turned into overwhelming sellout culture, and those that think, the scholars, the leaders, the brilliance, the scientists amongst us, they're not celebrated as much as the low level at all, not even close. So we utilize our platforms. Black media has become so toxic because we know we're doing wrong. We know we're selling out. But as long as we get paid, you don't care. Black culture has become sell-out culture. So I can't be mad at Candace Owens for calling that out, because she's right. It's a sell-out culture. And we see it and we like, man, I want to say something, but the crowd is saying congratulations. And it's like, wait a minute, is this good or is it bad? And then the reason you know it's bad is because we could say the ends justify the means, but we've seen people get millions and billions of dollars and do nothing with it for decades. And I believe when we first started doing this, we felt, well, when they get in position, they will do something that is for the overall beneficial good. And for decades, we've watched them do nothing while sacrifice everyone. We haven't seen it. So the question becomes is, where do we go forward? Is it that we continue to celebrate individualism, hyper-individualism, or do we go towards collectivism? Because what we do is, when we find somebody doing the right thing, we hold them to an impossible standard. You bet not do anything outside of this idea that I have for you. You better be perfect, because they think you need to make up for all the other people. But then you celebrate this person. So I made a post. I said, should I allow high-level conversations to be behind a paywall, to where people will pay for the high-level conversations, the high production, the editing team that we put in? We give long-form, high-level conversations. It is very meaningful and intentful content. And I had a lot of people saying yes. A lot of people saying yes. I love it. I will support it. I'll give up whatever subscription I have to replace it. Then you had a lot of people hating, saying, no, you're not supposed to really make any money off this. What is wrong with you? What happened? What did Huey P. Newton do? Like, there's a bunch of people. And those same people will most likely be in the comments celebrating the Pop the Balloon show. But if I made a show like that, they'd say I'm selling out. But if somebody else make the show like that, they say it's okay. We can celebrate this one. The black woman gonna be like, that's black woman excellence. Why? Because black women are no longer, not all black women, I want you all to understand, anytime I say black women or black men, I'm never speaking about us all. Just so that we understand that clearly. But black women will celebrate that because that's team woman. You get it? It's teams. So when they say black women are the most educated, they was talking about team woman. They weren't talking, it wasn't to celebrate the upliftment of the black family and the black community as a whole. It was saying, I know y'all family, but we're going to separate y'all and put her on a different team. Team woman. So a woman can make a show about black men not being nothing. And she can get a green light and make millions. And there will be so many people congratulating that as black excellence. Because same family, different team. And so you have to recognize who's part of your family, but on a different team. You have to understand that. Nothing matters unless it's collective, number one. No accomplishment that your daughter does matters unless your son is making accomplishments too. Because if your daughter is being more educated, but the black boys are getting worse and they're not being educated and their literacy rates are falling, who is she to match with? Who is she going to be evenly yoked with? If I have a daughter, I want her to be married to a black man that can lead her. And she respects him and he respects her. And they build together. They partner together. They love together. But I can't celebrate the rise of my black girls without the rise of my black boys, because then we will not have men for the women, which means that there's no family. So if we on different teams, then when you score, yes, you would cheer. So we stop measuring our success as a collective, as a pair, as a whole. We started measuring it by separate teams. So listen, man, as long as that black woman goddamn getting some money and a check and all of that, man, hey, clap your hands. Clap your hands. That's what's up. But then in the back of your head, you're like, but this is bad for the culture. You won't see that in any other people. You won't see white men do that. You will never see a white man celebrate a white woman for doing something that he doesn't believe benefits white culture. Never. That's why Hillary Clinton never became president. Because if he's not leading her, he not even letting her go nowhere. Now the question becomes, see, white women don't mind being led by white men. They don't mind being led by white men. This is proof of the society that we have currently. The Elon Musk, the Donald Trumps, and they don't care if they perfect or imperfect. He can have 13 baby mamas. Donald Trump can have felony sexual assault cases. Right? She don't care. She will still be led by him. Even though white women are amongst the most educated in America, but we never see that statistic being pit against white men and white women. We never see it. Nobody ever talks about Indian women being the most educated women in America. Nobody. We don't see it. The only time there are statistical facts about education that's being propagated in America is when it's the black woman being the most educated, because they're separating the team. Why don't nobody ever talk about Indian women being the most educated and having all the engineering degrees? Why don't nobody talk about it? Nobody? Nobody go congratulate them? Interesting. But see, also right along with them, you have Indian men are the highest as well, East Asians specifically, when it comes to like engineering and coding and technology degrees. And then they also happen to be the highest paid degrees. So that means the family net worth has increased and expanded, which is why the East Indian has the highest grossing income in America. And because they marry each other at large rates, whatever she do benefits him, whatever he do benefits her, which benefits them as a whole. Only we have got caught up in all these new isms. And in the world right now, where the most important thing is your own people, you have to be careful trying to separate yourself from your people. Because when everybody else kicks you out, you go try to come back to your family. But your family go remember the whole time you were scoring for the other team. So when you see a LeBron not go on any black media platforms, or you see a Jay-Z don't go on many black media platforms, and I know Jay-Z was heartbroken that black people were screaming for his demise without any evidence, that they wanted to see him go down. But he ain't feed the people. So people stop believing he's on their team. They say he's family, but they start treating him like an uncle that messes with little kids. And he like, what did I do? It ain't what you did, it's what you didn't do. You stopped scoring for the team. And it is disheartening to see how we do these things, because I hate to see how they treated the brother during that process to where they said, you're guilty until proven innocent. That's exactly how they treated that man, without no evidence. And so we be ready to discard those of us that have made it fast, because we don't believe in black leaders anyway. But Black Jay-Z represents black excellence. Diddy represented black excellence. Diddy probably employed more people than any other billionaire in the culture. I mean, he did Revolt. Revolt is still the only black media platform that a black billionaire had created that actually was ran by black people and employed black people. But we couldn't wait to throw his ass away. Not because we decided it was time for him to go, but because they decided it was time for him to go. Now that's interesting. It's interesting. Because I look at white America, and white America don't get rid of nobody that is on their team. If you're a part of the MAGA team, bro, you got a golden pass. They don't care what you did. They ain't speaking bad about you at all. So what end up happening a lot of times is that we also don't appreciate people that is on our team. Where's the loyalty? When somebody does good for the culture, do you have financial loyalty to them? Do you have physical loyalty, time loyalty? What's the rewards of doing the thing? Because, Jaylen Brown, he speak the truth. We said, man, why is every basketball player get a white woman and then go to Nike and be a slave? Yeah, we start talking all that, but then you get somebody that do it. Did you buy the shoe? Did you support him? When we have the high level, did you share it on your page? But when Cat Williams comes out and he talks about every single comedian that he could think of and every issue that they ever had, every black celebrity shared it on their platform. Now, I know most of the black celebrities, they follow, watch high-level conversations, but will never share it. They will never share it. Because when we going against each other, we would utilize our platform to spread the chaos. But if we ever go against another team, we're silent. There's no black media that's in sports, and they got all these new sports shows. None of them picked up the episode and talked about what Jaylen Brown was talking about, the NBA agents and things of that nature. None of them said anything, even though he's the MVP of the NBA. None of them said anything. But if he was talking about LeBron, oh man, they would have talked about it in a hurry. Because black media is toxic. At least most of them at the top. Because those are mostly the sellouts that they use to control everybody else. They don't need you ever use play with us. Now, it gets deeper than that as well. So can I show y'all something real quick? I'm going to share my screen on here. And I'm going to show y'all a graph. So this is the thing. I'm not mad at white people. I'm impressed by them. I'm mad at us, and I'm depressed by us. I'm not impressed because I feel like they're doing the right thing. I'm impressed because they're doing the effective thing that we refuse to do. All right, I'm going to prove this out. All right, so let's do this. Let me show you all something. Share my screen. And you all are going to see this tab that I have open. All right. So here is, let me maximize this a little bit. Put my screen over here. All right, so this is what I just shared. And let me see if I can customize this and move this around a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all got to see that much bigger for y'all to care about it. Let me make that a little bigger. All right, so now I'm in a corner, and now y'all can see it. So right here is a chart. In the middle, it says Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has 39 million followers, right? This is from Media Matters, where they gathered the research. They gathered the research of why Kamala Harris lost the election and how things started trending over to right-wing influence. So what they gathered was all of the platforms that are now right are in the red, and all the ones that are left are in the blue, right? So you got Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, Theo Vaughn, Ben Shapiro, Peter Thiel, Charlie Kirk, right? Candace Owens. All of these people are what they call right-wing or right-leaning, meaning they push towards the ideas of the Republicans. I might have it on my phone as well, but y'all should go to YouTube if you're on Instagram, to be honest. Yeah, you're going to have to go to YouTube if you're on Instagram. That's your best bet. And I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I'll just put that up right now. But go on YouTube, 19 Keys anyway, and go check it out. So what happened is that you can see this sphere. Now, the way it works, it's very clever. So the one thing that we're not doing, and this is what I think the LeBrons and them don't understand or don't care. I'm not sure. I have not talked to them to gather that intelligence for myself. But what they do is you get all of these right-wing, so-called right-wing, right? They go on each other's platform and they build each other up. Because the way it works is that if you are a billionaire, a decamillionaire, somebody that wants to influence politics and the ideas of politics. See, it used to just be you go and lobby the politicians. Now you lobby the influencers to push the ideas that dominate cultural and popular spaces, that influences the vote and the narrative amongst society. So you got the Joe Rogans, the Russell Brands, all of them. Now the left wing and the blue, they represent probably around like 70% dominance right now. So whichever idea spread is the ones that win, right? So on the blue, you got Breakfast Club, Trevor Noah is like the biggest ones. Then you got one called Young Turk, things of that nature. So Breakfast Club got almost 12 million. Young Turk got 12 million. Trevor Noah got 21 million, right? And we'd probably be a smaller bubble. I'm not sure if they count us as red or I think they count mine as red because they did an article about me, you know what I'm saying, hating on me and things of that nature. Which is crazy how they categorize these things, but they think that if you talk about masculinity, then you're right-leaning, right? So when they do that, then you get Democrats that want to destroy your platform. Now they calling me and things of that nature because they don't know what they represent anymore. They're trying to figure it out. But this is where I've always talked to us behind the scenes, and I'm like, bro, why don't we network and connect with each other and build each other up? And people be like, man, I don't want to hear all that unity shit, man. Because they playing for team money. Not realizing that they can actually get more and they can build more and actually have some power. Right? But when you're on team money, you know what I'm saying, then everybody just focuses on the individual thing. Let me just do my thing, bro. I ain't got time to be helping you and building with you because we don't even see the power in it. And then when somebody else do it, we finally get it. So they put out these reports because they wanted to understand the flow of influence. And what they realize is that influence is not just, of course, you on Instagram, right? No, it's about all of them. Whether it's on Instagram, your Twitter, your YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Your TikTok, and then collectively, because each one has its own influential power. It's a stream, it's a funnel that you can push through, right? So I have, let's say, like 1 million on Instagram, 100 some thousand on TikTok, which I could probably build that up to 1 million fast. Threads, we got 100,000. Twitter, another 100,000. YouTube on my personal 200,000. Then on EYL, we got like 1.6 million right now, right? So collectively, that's probably around, like, access wise, somewhere around 2.5 million or something like that. All right, so we have considerable amount of influence when it comes to pushing ideas. So specifically ideas. There are platforms that are bigger, but those platforms usually are just entertainment. They don't push ideas. Ideas is what matters when you're talking about power, right? If you don't talk philosophies, ideas, politics, things of that nature, then it doesn't matter as much, right? This is why black media, if we just talk entertainment and there's no enlightenment, there's no ideas being pushed, then it's not actually a powerful platform. It's not really influential. Why? Because people won't listen to your ideas when they're not used to hearing your ideas, right? You're not guiding them through whatsoever. So on these platforms, they might be coded as comedy, but they also talk about politics, or they believe political figures on, or they talk about their ideas around masculinity, femininity, the way of the world, capitalism, right? Where things should be, cultural society. So therefore, they become politically charged, powerful platforms. So we will celebrate the individual, right? When they see Joe Rogan get a deal in Spotify, that's not, they don't consider that white excellence. No. They say, okay, first of all, he has power. Let's work with him. Let's collaborate. Let's cross-pollinate on that platform. Right? Let's make sure that the thought leaders that we believe in can get on Joe Rogan's show so they can grow. Now, kudos to Breakfast Club, because Charlamagne understands the game. Right? He has me on the platform. I appreciate that, because he usually is the one hitting me up. And like last year, I was supposed to come and I was focusing on something else at the time. But he has the ability to bring different people on that platform. My goal is to not just have a Breakfast Club, but you got high level as well. So therefore, then you got Earning Leisure, then you got Wall Street, then you got all these other big names. So when we want ideas about economic prosperity, and we want to talk about technology, and we want to influence the way that culture goes and political culture goes, we can, but we can't if we don't even care. We don't even care. So again, as long as we're celebrating black excellence, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. And as long as we are playing for different teams and celebrating different teams getting wins, we're going to lose. When in the NBA, you won't see somebody on the Lakers celebrating, you know what I'm saying, somebody that play for what team I want to say, the Celtics shit. You're not gonna see them. They not gonna be rooting for them. They not gonna be saying, man, you ain't see nobody come out in the NBA and say, man, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum is black excellence. You ain't see that. They on different teams. They don't do that. They focus on their team. Focus on their team. And they know who's playing for their team or who's not playing for their team. And the team owners won't even allow them to go out there and do too much for another team. So when I look at maps like this, I say, man, you got to respect on how they know how to unify. They do. So I don't be believing like, yeah, y'all want me to, you know, come to somebody's aid or help somebody out. And, you know, we want us to defend black people and all of this, but we're not even on the same team. You family, but I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. But I don't particularly care for what good happened to you because we're not on the same team. If I'm pushing economic literacy, right, and you're pushing gambling, it's not the same team. We're actually canceling each other out. Doesn't make sense. If I'm pushing family, right, and you're pushing toxic relationship dynamics, it's not the same team. And I think you got to respect that there's different tribes and teams within it, and you just find out who's playing on that, and then your goal is trying to support them as much as you can so your team starts to win as much. And in Black America, there are different teams. That's all I want to get us to understand. There's Team Black Excellence and there's Team Black Power. Team Black Excellence only care for themselves. They only care what they can gain and what they can maintain. They only care about their position, their money, and staying in the system. They do not care about building their own, dismantling anything. It's an illusion. They just use their black skin to confuse you, to make you think they're on the same team because they might wear the uniform. But they're never going to score for you. You see somebody like Jasmine Crockett and you got to ask, y'all going to celebrate and say you love her, but why? What bills are connected to her name? What is the ideas that you love her for? Is it rhetoric? Is it talk? Is she a black woman? Is the eyelashes? What is it? Do you know why? Is it because they're getting something done? Why? Can anybody explain? Is it because you talk shit to another person? What is it? Antics, tactics, parades. But where's the tangible? Where's the progress? Where's the ownership? Where's the collective? And then you realize, like, damn, this whole time I've been playing myself. I've been rooting for the wrong team. Because they've been confusing me because I thought they was on my team. It's not. Sorry to tell you. Everybody but you know it. That's the trick. That's the trick. Everybody but you know it. They know it. They know they ain't on your team. They, first of all, motherfuckers is rich and successful. They don't want the system to break. They just want a comfortable system, position in it. That's black excellence. Just give me a comfy job. Just give me some rights so I can really ignore things. But I'm going to tell you, white America about to make it so heavy. Not white America, but MAGA America about to make it so heavy. They don't respect them Negroes. They don't want to give you no respect. And you have no organization, and black excellence is not about to stop white power. Well-organized, well-crafty young men. They have their ideas, their thought leaders, their scholars, their position, right? What they believe in. And you think you're going to stop it because black excellence, oh, we got it in NAACP awards. But don't even push the people who actually represent the real culture. But we got to fund. But don't fund anybody that does anything. Oh, it's all fun and games. It's all pop the culture. Get rid of it. Choose another one. You say MAGA respect black people. I'm too ignorant to see it, bro. I don't care if they respect black people. That's not the point. See, you missing the idea of the way power works. The point is to not need no one to respect you because you have enough power that it doesn't matter. That's the point. I'm not looking for privilege of somebody to treat me right, whether they're racist or not racist. That don't matter. The only thing that matters is power. Mm-hmm. See, you missing the point. I don't care if they're racist or non-racist or like me or don't. I want to have the power to not be affected, regardless. That's the position that they love to be in. You don't want your life to be dependent upon whether somebody likes or agrees with you. It's the wrong game that you're playing. So I don't worry about MAGA being racist or doesn't respect. None of that matters. The point is that you have enough power, you're not worried about nobody. You have your own thing. You have your own systems that nobody else controls. Because you better believe that's exactly what they want. So you can't beat a system not by a so-called revolution. No. You beat the system by opting out the system. That's the only way. You don't beat it by participating more. You don't beat it by, oh, let's boycott Target while buying at Amazon. You don't beat it like that. You beat it by creating billion-dollar machines. Mr. Professor, I don't even think he's that smart enough to say his point. I'm not sure if he could intelligently communicate your ideas. I would love for you to, because I would love to break them down and whatever fallacies that may exist within them. You said it's an excuse to hate. Hate who? Hate what? Explain. I would love to. But I typically don't get anybody that can explain anything that actually makes any sense. So, no, I'm gonna go ahead and disappear your comment because I don't think you have the intelligence to make anything make sense. I would love for you to, though, but I don't believe in your potential. I'm sorry, young man. I don't believe in your potential. I was hoping that you may have had something, but I don't believe in your potential whatsoever, rather. And I'm about to get off and eat in a second. I got some really good food, some Jamaican food waiting on me. So, shout out to MAGA. Shout out to the left Democrat. Shout out to all of them. They's all just different teams. Not my teams. If they were my teams, then they have to benefit me. Right? I'm not propped up by the Democrats. Never have been. Right? So obviously not my team. You've never seen me walk across the NAACP stage. You've never seen the main candidates come on my platform. So not my team. Obviously. Your team is the ones who fight for you and benefit you directly. It's a very simple concept. You don't have to overthink it, right? You don't have to figure anything out. If they're doing what benefits you and your family and your progress so that you can have equity and power, then yeah, it's your team. But the problem that this world is having is that, here's the thing, when we talk about things, my goal is when I talk about us, and the reason that a lot of people have an issue when black people talk about their own progress is because they believe that they're supposed to control us. That's the truth. Because they tell black people, stop making excuses, go do for self. Well, when you go do for self, And you say, okay, I'm going to stop making excuses. Hey, black people, let's focus on progress. And they say, why are you talking that black talk? You know what I'm saying? That's racist. And it's like, didn't y'all just tell me I'm supposed to go do for self? Then they be like, why are you bringing up the past? Well, because I need to educate my people so they can understand how strong they are and what they went through so that it never happens again so they can create their own future. They have to understand what happened before them. And they say, no, that's complaining. Y'all ain't gonna get nowhere. Be like us. And it's like, so you telling me that if I'm gonna be like y'all, then I should support my own people and build my own systems. No, that's racist. Why are you focusing on black? See, the point of it is that as long as you're answering their questions and being questioned, you don't have no power. Because they believe they need to be at the center, that you need to have them in mind when you make decisions, but they don't need to have you in mind when they make decisions. So they supposed to be at the center of your world. No. You have to decenter. You don't put nobody in the center of your world but you. Get it on your own merit. Okay, well, black people been doing that in America. We've been focused on that, but why every time we go do it on our own, somebody comes and destroys? It's like you got that kid that they tell that we don't want to play with you. The kid say, okay, well, I'm going to go play by myself. He start building up his little Legos. Then they see him having a good old time by himself. Then they come in and knock the Legos down. Like, damn, I thought y'all ain't. And then the kid realizes that, all right, y'all just don't want me to have peace. Y'all afraid that I don't need you. That's your true fear. You're afraid of the independence of black culture. That's the truth and not the dependence. Because every leader that has been radical, that has pushed independence, has been taken out. But the ones that push dependence, they still here. They get benefited. They get benefited. And then you talk ish about black culture, saying it's ignorant. But the first thing y'all green light is the most negative, ignorant things. See, when you don't have self-awareness, you can be gaslit. When you have mastered self-awareness, no one can gaslight you and make you believe anything other than the truth. You're supposed to make all your decisions as if they're watching you. They want to confuse you. Why you hating? Hating, I'm loving right now. If I sit down and tell my black daughter, man, she's supposed to be beautiful, love her beautiful self, and have beautiful black children, you're not going to run a psyop on me and tell me that that's hate. That's love. I'm telling her to love herself and create a reflection of her own image that I told her to love. I'm telling my black son, love himself and marry somebody that represents the love that you have for your people and yourself. That's love. That's not hate. So they've confused and made us operate off hate when it's always just been love. So if I say, y'all got your own banks, I love that. I want to have my own banks. I want to control the way we do things. I want to set the rules. I'm not going to ask you for more benefits inside your bank, sir. Honestly, I just want to take my money out and then just create my own. Is that fine? No. What's wrong with you taking your money out? You telling me that you think you as good as me because you think that you can operate this yourself. You think you can do what a white man can do? But then if I continue to be subservient under you and work for you, you're going to make fun of the fact that I need you. So which one is it? The fear that most white people have, racist white people, they fear equality. They fear equality and inferiority. That's what white supremacy is rooted in. It's rooted in a complex of fear that you actually not needed. That's the fear of white supremacy, because white supremacy operates off the fact that white is superior. So if we say, actually, you can have your water, you can have your things, we're going to create our own. You live in your white superiority. But white superiority, the complex, can only exist around others that feel inferior. It can only exist around others that feel inferior. Otherwise, it doesn't have a point to it. There is no point to it. If nobody feels inferior, then there's no white supremacy. So when we say, man, y'all can feel however you want to. I don't give a damn. Feel how you want to. We gonna be over here feeling how we feel. We go into our own thing. We building our own thing. We want our own thing. Y'all enjoy that. All right, y'all got a little sausage special going on. Y'all kick it. We gonna build our own. We got this. Cool. And that's when they come bothering. Because they don't really want us left to our. They don't really want us doing the thing that is the right thing to do. But it's the only thing. The one thing that people don't want you to do, that want to hold you back, is the very thing that you must do. Because white supremacists believe that equality is oppression. Equality makes them feel oppressed. Because everything of the white identity is rooted in a feeling of superiority. So when you make me feel like I'm no longer superior, then you strip away the benefits of me being white in the first place. Because white is not a skin tone, like black is not a skin tone. These are classes. White is a membership that comes with a privileged benefit that you are superior than others around you. What is white? It's an amalgamation of Europeans from different places across the world, decided to be on the same team. It is a team. So if I can't say what I want to and I'm a white man, wait a minute, y'all just took away benefits. Now I feel like a regular man. I can't do what I want to. You just made me feel equal to you. I got to think about what I say. The world don't revolve around me. Snow White is no longer Snow White. A movie that came out at a time when all of Hollywood was racist. When you have ideas, stories that come out rooted in white supremacy, and you're mad that the world has now changed its colors, reflections, and diversities, and you're mad that people want the world to reflect the people that's in the world, people that have power and control of the world, you still want the images and the stories told that represented white supremacy so you can feel superior. And when people say, no, that movie didn't have no black people, that story didn't have no black people in it. And you say, but the original story only had white people. Yes, because it was racism. It was white people that wrote it and intentionally left everybody out because they wanted the world to reflect them. So in 2025, why would we have the same story? Because you're no longer in the center of the world. Other people exist. So now you're making them feel equal. You're adding diversity. You're adding other people in the picture. What's wrong with y'all? Why can't we keep the stories that were utilized as propaganda to spread white superiority? Why can't we have those same stories in 2025? Why y'all got to take away everything? Now I don't feel like a white man anymore. Well, that was the point. That was the very point. Matter of fact, we shouldn't even be running the stories anymore. I agree with them with that. We should not be having the story ran would just make a new story. But Hollywood is cheap. It has no new stories, no creativity. So yeah, it's supposed to be different. It's supposed to have equality. We live in a different time. The stories reflected are supposed to represent society. But if you go on Twitter, what are they talking about? They're talking about society representing them and them only. And only if you agree with them do they rock with you. It's interesting. It's love. It's interesting. It's decentering. You're no longer in the middle of our world. We no longer support stories that propagate white superiority. That is something that they want us to fight for. If you're a white supremacist, yes, by all means fight for that, because that's what you believe in. But if you're not a white supremacist, then you're supposed to be against that. Because the ideas of the world matter the most. Who spreads the ideas and what ideas dominate become the world. So when you can say something and can't say something, it's only because this idea is be popular. This idea is unpopular. So you can't say this, but you can say this. I was watching this movie, Mickey 17, and I'm going to end on this. Mickey 17 was an interesting movie. It was basically making fun of Hitler and things of that nature, and space colonization and stuff like that, and cloning and all these other different things, concepts. But Mickey's a white dude, bottom of the bottom, the lowest. You know what I'm saying? Scumbag, owes money, gotta go to space, try to escape. This black woman, for no reason, they never explain why. He's the nastiest he's ever looked. He's not even really human, and she falls in love with him. Now this black woman is black excellence. You know what I mean? She's a colonel that's striped up. She completes missions. She's smart. Boom. But for some reason, she likes Mickey 17. She likes Mickey. They never explain why. She just has a fascination, right, with the most unimpressive white man on the planet. That's who she is. Out of all people, she's just attracted, and she wants to protect him and love him. And then at the same time, she works for the system as one of their generals, but she's sleeping with the white dude. And then when the guy who's supposed to be the overlord, she fighting with Mickey to go against the system. Then there's these other LGBT lesbian white women that also want the white man as well. And this regular square, even the lesbian white woman wanted this regular square white dude. There was nothing special about him. He was bottom of the bottom. He had no confidence at all. There was nothing masculine in his body. It was a simp. I'm telling the movie because I don't care about the movie. I don't care if it makes a dime. And I'm going to tell you why I don't care if it makes a dime. Because the black woman, while she was fighting against the white man and his culture, or the so-called Hitler, going against the powers that be, the system, if you will, there was agents in there helping and all of that. And this black woman and a white woman, they're fighting over this regular square-ass white man. And I started to look at the movie and I said, wait a minute. Where are the black men in the movie? Now, there's a lot of people in the movie. There are some black men in the movie. They're extras in the background. There's Asian men all throughout the movie that have speaking roles, supporting roles. There's a white woman that stands by her white man that's crazy and wild, right? But not one part of the movie even had a black man speak a word. Now here we are in 2025. where you as a casting director, right? You as a producer, the director of the film, the writer, the costume people, you have to go through all of these people, get it green lighted. And throughout the whole film, nobody asks why is not one single black man gets to speak a word in the film. Not one time. Not one black man is represented in their world. That's the point. The black man doesn't get to speak in their world. The black woman has her role. She has her black excellence. She has some power. The white woman is there with her LGBT. The white man is in control of things, running things. The white man, of course, is going to be the savior and the hero. Black woman is there. But not one black man has even one word spoken. And see, as black men, when I watch movies, I'm always looking for myself and representation in movies. So I'm like, yo, wow, you know what I'm saying? Where am I in the movie? Typically, those supporting roles that you would see Asian guys go for, right? You would have thought I would have seen maybe a black... There was plenty of roles where a black dude could have said anything. I mean, any word in the movie. Plenty of roles. There was all these scientists. There was people who was filming. There was just little regular people saying stuff. But not one black man had a single word to say. So you build out a whole entire world where the black man has no voice at all. And see, I watched that movie and it's for entertainment purposes only. I watch movies for two different reasons. I love movies, by the way. I watch them for pure entertainment. And then, right, I watch them with my two eyes and I watch them with my third eye. Because in that movie, especially in a movie that is politically charged, the writers are merging these ideas in the movie. And you walk away with these ideas. So that means that they are intentional about the ideas that they convey. A writer sits down and they're thinking about what ideas that they want to get across on screen. And everything is intentional. So that movie could be celebrated as a diverse movie. You feel me? It could be. And this is what I want black men to see. And this is why I got to respect the way white men go after their representation. See, white men won't allow none of that to pass. They say, listen, we got to be in the film. We got to be represented. We have to have our voice. We have to be shown in some sort of light whatsoever. So do I look at that film and say, well, there was a black woman in there. Let me celebrate the black excellence. No, I don't. I'm looking at it from the lens, I'm not in it. It don't matter. But it's a subtle thing when you watch a whole film and the black man is just used as a prop for the background and have no voice. You don't even realize that you just watched the whole film where the black man was irrelevant. His thoughts were irrelevant. His ideas were irrelevant. He's just a prop. He's just a tool. And you don't think of it that deeply, but it becomes embedded in the subconscious. That he doesn't have enough masculinity or power to even have a word in the world. You have to be careful when you watch films because you don't realize what ideas that you are subscribing to subconsciously. Because you got to think about it. If I was a white man, or as a black man, I should say, and I'm making a film, and I would have to intentionally make sure that not one white man gets a word in my movie in order for it to be made like that. I would have to intentionally make sure that they don't give a single white man a speaking role and part. I would have to intentionally do that. But they can be in it, but they can't say nothing. I would have to intentionally do that. Now that's diabolical. And y'all don't realize how the black man is being shaped to disappear, to not have a word, to not have any influence. Because the world fears you just not going against them, because black people didn't take over great civilizations through violence. We took over through ideas and control of trade. When the Moors conquered 7-Eleven in Spain, it wasn't because they came in with guns. They controlled the flow of knowledge, food, spices, trade, to where they became indispensable and you couldn't get rid of them. And today, you can't do sports, entertainment without black men. But somehow, they made us feel that we need them. So I'll give you a deal you can't refuse. You can have your black excellence, but you can never have your black power. Don't do anything with this money. Don't say anything dangerous with it. Don't do too much for your own people, and you're good to go. That's how it works. And then the rest of us applaud, because we haven't had nothing for so long. Just to see anybody get something, we feel good. Black excellence versus black power. One is representation, the other is reparations. Peace.